going to talk about customer interviews today and the process that we'll take to do these interviews. I want you to start to think first of why are we doing interviews? They take a lot longer than surveys. Why would this be an important process? The reason is you don't know who your customers are. You likely don't really know what they want. And this is a funny phrase, you don't know what you don't know, meaning you don't know the questions to ask them. You don't know the things that they might tell you if you just knew the right question to ask. And then the third point is that a lot of times, if you just ask them direct questions, they kind of know what you want to hear, and so they'll give you feedback that is not actually helpful. They want to please you, avoid making you feel bad, and they may want to look good. So sometimes the feedback that you get is falsely positive, meaning that they're giving you this feedback not because there's a real problem that you need to solve, but just because they want to make you not feel bad or themselves look good. And that false positive feedback can be a waste of time and money. So that's the whole part of Lean Startups, is try to avoid that. So we're going to focus on how to do interviews. And I gave you a link before this video to a video that kind of demonstrates how sometimes you have to relearn how to do things. And so you might have in your minds a way of doing interviews or talking to people, but we're going to follow a specific approach. It may require you to rethink how you would approach. In my research, many of the ways that we do research using interviews informs what I'm going to teach you today. Project in Central America, in which I'm looking at how entrepreneurs learn from role models, and I use open-ended interviews to come up with new insights that I didn't have before. We also do surveys and activities and field experiments to try to learn in different ways, but these open-ended interviews are really helpful to discover ideas that we didn't know about before that turn into some novel insights. But one of the things that we found is that the effect of the training to be much less for females than for males, so 18% difference. And what we were trying to figure out is why would that be the case? We didn't really know. I used some interviews to try to figure out why that might be the case, and went down to El Salvador in the last couple of years, and I've been interviewing a lot of females as well as males, and asking these interviewees how they became entrepreneurs and what they learned and so forth. And this is an interview that I did with an organization that trains specifically women entrepreneurs. And I utilized the process that I'm going to explain to you about how to do interviews, trying not to lead them to the answer that I was looking for, but asking open-ended questions. It was really interesting because I really found a great insight. I thought that this might be the case. I wasn't sure, and I asked it in a way that I didn't reveal what I was thinking, but just an open-ended question. And as you can see here, if you want to pause to look at the exact quote, one of these women, she indicated that one of the problems that women face in their training programs is that they don't have enough time to actually implement much of the training that is happening due to their family constraints. They have greater time obligations, which makes it harder to get more out of the training. The reason that I share this is to show that this process can help us get insights we wouldn't have otherwise, and I actually use it in my own research.